I got my buddy Joe Bonamassa over here and Mark, and we're looking at this petrified plank of something or other.
A wedge-shaped guitar, futuristic.
And I just heard Joe playing at the Greek Theater, and he was using a V and an Explorer and just absolutely annihilating on that.
Thank you.
And I think Joe is going to...
yeah, I've had it in my mind to get a V for a while. And there's something about these original Vs that, frequency-wise, they're just a little bit north of a 59 or a 60 Les Paul. And when I did the Three Kings tour, it was very, very apparent that the 59 Les Paul didn't do this, you know? They have this, they howl. And then you ask the question, like, well, where do you find a real one? And that's why I'm here. That's why I call it Norm. I go, if it's real, you know, Norm would have it. And this is definitely real. It's very fun. This is the first Carina guitar I ever bought, and I actually kept it, and I was planning on keeping it for life, but Joe is practically my nephew, and you know, I love Joe, and
if you watch Spinal Tap, this is the V that was in Nigel's collection, where he's in the famous guitar scene.
That's right.
This has been around, been in a lot of books, and all. Yeah. There's a lot of provenance with this.
And it's a great guitar. I mean, you could just tell it's like, you know, can't wait to get it strung up and through the Tweed Twins. But you know, the thing about these is, like, guitar-wise, you know, it was so futuristic the way they were thinking about, you know, the V and Explorer, and people in '58 didn't get it.
Well, the guys that were playing even rock and roll were jazz guys, were playing arch tops, and this was so far removed from anything. Right. I mean, even the Les Pauls didn't go over that great in the beginning, but this was, you know, they just thought it was a joke, you know. So. Yeah,
and they eventually ended up discontinuing the Les Paul as we knew it, and these, and then about 12 years later they resurrected them, but not like the original Carina.
Well, the thing is that volume in music went up. So, you know, guys were playing these arch tops and stuff like that, and it was loud, and, you know, they could get it without dealing with feedback too much. But as volume became a bigger thing, these guys had to use solid bodies or 335, stuff that was a plank of wood that, you know, was not going to feed back all over the place.
Exactly. So, well, I wish I could play it, but it's slack tuned, and the buttons are petrified.
Right.
So if
these strings have been on this guitar for probably 25 years.
Right.
I've been sitting here. So I did my job preserving it, and now you're going to get to hear Joe playing it.
Put a different set of tuners on it and string it and play it and take it on the road. That's what they're for. So,
well, it's a soulful
thanks,
guitar.
Norm. I'm honored to be the new custodian.
Well, likewise, buddy. I mean, you know, it wouldn't go anybody but you on this, because this was one I really had no intention of selling. I'm not saying that as a businessman. I love this stuff.
Right.
You know, I started out as a collector, and the reason I stash all this stuff is I always felt like someday maybe I'll study guitar and become a guitar player. Well, it's a little late in the game for me, but it's not for him. So he can actually make good use out of it, and you'll be hearing this thing.
Yeah, you'll be hearing it in pretty soon, actually, about a month or so. This will be fun. You know, it's cool because it's just a go-kart.
Yeah. I mean, they're extremely cool, but...
And it's, you know, for that kind of car, it's a cheap date.
You have to drive them, too, you know, right? You know, so, I mean, take your right hand.